everyone, welcome to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to learn how to create follow-up tasks in Asana for website form leads. Now let's say I use Landingy as my website form for receiving the new leads and I want to create task in Asana. So here my objective is, as soon as I receive a new form submission over the Landingy, I am going to create task in Asana. So for integrating these both applications, I am going to use a software that is Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to build this automation, then let me take you towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video we are going to learn how to create a task in Asana for the website form leads. So for the website form I have selected Landingy. So now as soon as a new submission is received over this form, a new task will be created over the Asana. So now let's start building this automation which can enhance your business. But before that I am going to show you the real working demo of this automation. For that let's move on to my Landingy form. So here you can see this is the form I have created and now I am going to fill this form. And here I am going to provide the name as demo user. So here I have provided the name demo user. Now I am going to enter the email address as demouser@pabblytudes.com. So here you can see I have filled this form providing the name demo user, email address demouser@pabblytudes.com and the phone number. Now we simply have to submit this form. And here you can see our form has been successfully submitted. Now let's move on to my Asana account and check whether we are receiving a task over there or not with the same information. So for that let's move on to my Asana account and here you can see we are successfully receiving the information of the lead which we have recently filled over my website form Landingy. So here you can see the contact, that is demo user, and the email, phone number, and here with the sentence that is lead captured from landing page, follow with the client within 24 hours. So you have seen that this is the way an automation works. So you can also create an automation like this for enhancing your business by just using Pabbly Connect. So for using the Pabbly Connect, you just have to type its URL over the new tab, that is pabbly.com/connect, and once you will enter the URL, you will be getting the landing page of Pabbly, and here you can see we are getting two options, that is sign in and sign up free. So if you are a new user, you can simply click over the sign up free, but if you are an existing user, you can simply click over the sign in. But if you sign up your account for free over the Pabbly Connect, you get 100 free tasks every month. But before moving on forward, I am going to tell you about Pabbly Community. So here you can see this is the page of Pabbly Community where automation users, marketers and business owners gather to share their ideas, ask questions and get relevant updates regarding using the Pabbly application. So you can also join Pabbly Community now and grow your business with us. And if you wish to join the Pabbly Community, you can find link in the description given below. Now let's move on to the Pabbly Connect again, and here I am going to simply click over the sign in as I already have an account on Pabbly Connect. And as you finish your sign up, you will be getting this all Pabbly apps page, and here you can see we are getting this app that is Pabbly Connect, which can integrate different applications and start automating your work. Now for accessing the Pabbly Connect, we simply have to click over the Access Now button and we will be landed to the dashboard page of Pabbly Connect. And here you can see this is the dashboard page of Pabbly Connect where I have created many folders. So you can also create your own folder by just clicking on this create a new folder button, and here I am going to create a workflow integrating two applications, that is Landingy and Asana. So for that we simply have to click over this create workflow button, and as you will click on the create workflow button, you will be getting an option for selecting the workflow builder. So here we are getting two workflow builder, that is beta, which is modern, faster and more flexible, and another workflow builder we are getting is classic, which will provide you stable and familiar approach. So here I am going to use this newly launched workflow builder beta. So for that you simply have to click over the select button, and as you will click on select button, you will be getting a dialog box where you have to provide a name to your workflow. So now let's provide a name to our workflow here. So here I am providing it the name add follow-up task in Asana for web form leads. Now here I am going to select my folder, that is connect folder. Now we simply have to click over this create button, and here you can see we are getting this pop-up which says workflow created successfully, and we are landed to a workflow page. And on this page you can see we are getting the option for adding the trigger. So now you might be thinking, what is this trigger? So trigger is our first application or the application which is going to initiate our workflow. So in this case I want to initiate my workflow as soon as I receive a new submission over the landingy form. So for that I'm going to select my trigger app as landingy. So you just have to click over this add trigger button and you will be landed to the trigger setup page. So here you can see I'm getting this app, so let's select it, and afterwards it is asking me to select the app event. So here I'm going to select this app event, that is new lead from landing page, and after that we simply have to click over this connect button, and here you can see we are getting a webhook URL with the steps for pasting this webhook URL over the landing page. And now I'm going to show you how you can paste this webhook URL. So for that you just have to move to my landingy account. So here you can see this is my dashboard page, and here we are getting a page that is Pab SNS. So now we simply have to click over this edit button, and afterwards we will be landed to the editing page. And on this page you just have to scroll down, and at last you can see this is the form I have created. So here you just have to select any of these fields, and afterwards you will be getting the option for settings. So just select it and you will be getting this form settings page. And on this form settings page you can see we are getting the option for integration. So let's select it, and afterwards we just have to search for the webhook. So here you can see as I'm searching for the webhook, I'm getting this webhook which is already installed. So firstly you have to install this, and afterwards let's select this webhook over here and we will be landed to this webhook page. And here you can see we are getting the option for request URL and request method. So on this request URL we have to paste the webhook URL which we have recently received from the Pabbly Connect. So now let's move on to the Pabbly Connect again, and here I am going to just copy this webhook URL, and afterwards I am going to just paste it over here. So here you can see I have pasted my webhook URL, and afterwards it is asking me to select the request method. So here I am going to select my request method as post, as I want to fetch the data. So here we are done with this. Now we simply have to click over the save button, and afterwards we just have to click over the save and close, and here again we have to click over the save button, and after saving this form we just have to publish our form. And here as our form has been saved, now we simply have to publish this form, and here I am going to select this, that is publish anyway. And here you can see our form has been successfully published and we are getting the URL for our form. So now let's copy this URL over here, and afterwards let's paste it to a new tab. So here I am going to paste it to a new tab for getting this form, and here you can see I am getting my landingy form. Now let's move on to my Pabbly Connect again and check whether it's waiting for the webhook response or not, and here you can see it is waiting for webhook response. Now for providing the webhook response we have to do a test submission, means we have to fill our form. Now for filling the form again we have to move to the link which we have recently added to a new tab. So now let's scroll down, and here we are getting the form. So again we have to fill this form. So here you can see I have filled this form providing the name testing user, email address testing user @pabblytuts.com, and the phone. Now we simply have to click over the sign up now for submitting our form, and here you can see our form has been successfully submitted. Now let's move on to the Pabbly Connect and check whether we are receiving the response over there or not. So now let's move on to the Pabbly Connect, and here you can see we are successfully receiving the response, that is response A, with the same details which we have recently filled over the form. So here we are done with our trigger setup. Now we just have to set up our action. So for that you just have to click over this add new action step button, and you will be landed to the action setup page. And here we have to search for the Asana, as we are going to add task over the Asana in this case. So for that let's select it, and afterwards I am going to select my app event as create a task. And now we simply have to click over this connect button, and here we are landed to the connection page of Asana. So if you already have an existing connection you can use this, that is select existing connection, and if you want to build a new connection you can simply click over this add new connection button, and afterwards you just have to click over this connect with Asana, and from here you have to allow the access. And here you can see our connection has been successfully created, and as I have created my connection I am getting some of the fields. So first field I am getting is for the workspace. So from here you can select the workspace which is already selected as pabblytuts.com, and afterwards it is asking me to select the project ID. So from here I am going to select the project ID as follow up task, and here I am done with my project ID also. Now it is asking me to select my task name, notes, etc. So for these fields I am going to perform mapping. So now you might be thinking, what is this mapping? So mapping is basically inserting the data from the previous step. So here in this case our previous step is landingy form. So from the response of landingy form I am going to map my data, and mapping basically makes that field dynamic, means you don't have to change your values again and again. The fields will be replaced with every new responses. So here I am going to map my task name by entering a word that is contact, and afterwards I am going to map the name of my lead. So here I have entered this sentence. Now I am going to map the name of my lead from the response. So here you can see I am getting the name that is testing user. So I am going to map it, and this name will be replaced with every new responses. Now here I am going to add notes. So now let's add notes over here. So for notes I am going to add remaining detail that is email. So now let's map our email over here, and afterwards I am going to map the phone number. So here I am going to map the phone number also, and afterwards I am going to enter a sentence. So here you can see I have entered the sentence that is lead captured from landing page, follow up with the client within 24 hours. So as I have entered these both sentences manually, this is not going to replace with every new responses. Now let's move on forward, and here it is asking me to enter due at and due on, and afterwards it is asking me to select the assignee. So from here you can select your assignee, which is already selected as admin Pabbly, and afterwards we are getting the field that is follower and tags, which are not necessary. So here I am going to leave it as blank. Now we simply have to click over the save and send test request, and here you can see we are receiving a positive response, means we have successfully created a task over the Asana. So now let's move on to my Asana account and check whether we are receiving the response over there or not. So here you can see this is my Asana account with the project that is follow-up task, and on this project you can see I am receiving the details of the lead which I have recently added to my landing gift form. With the same details I have entered, providing the name testing user and email testing user@pabblytunes.com, phone number, and the two sentence that is lead captured from landing page, follow up with the client within 24 hours. So now you have seen I have created an amazing automation by just using Pabbly Connect, which can enhance your business too. So start using Pabbly Connect now, and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for learning more about Pabbly and creating many more amazing automations like this. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe our channel. And if you wish to practice this workflow, you can find its link in the description given below. And thank you for watching this video. Not only this automation, you can build many more integrations like this by just using Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubt, you can mail us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can post it over the forums.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, then you can visit the URL given over here. So start using Pabbly Connect for free now.